Hello, our dear viewers, and welcome to our special coverage for the celebrations marking the 52nd anniversary of October War victory. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi on Monday said the Great October Epic is a pool of lessons to be drawn by generations to come in cementing the internal front and keeping it united. In the televised speech marking the 52nd anniversary of October, the President said firm belief, delicate planning, diligent work and consistent coordination by all state institutions are always keys for victory and success. More details in the following report.
في هذا اليوم المجيد نقف جميعا وقف عزة وفخر نحيي فيها ذكرى يوم خالد في تاريخ ووجدان الأمة يوم السادس من أكتوبر عام 1973.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces on Monday, said the Great October Epic is a pool of lessons to be drawn by generations to come in cementing the internal front and keeping it united. In a televised speech marking the 52nd October victory anniversary, the President said firm belief, delicate planning, diligent work and consistent coordination by all the state institutions are always keys for victory and successes. The President paid tribute to late President Mohamed the champion of both war and peace, and to all armed forces commanders, officers and soldiers, and to every martyr or wounded people whose blood was shed for the sake of the nation. The head of the state also extended praise and appreciation for American President Donald Trump for his initiative that seeks a ceasefire in Gaza after 2 years of genocide war. He said a ceasefire, the return of prisoners and detainees, the reconstruction of Gaza and the launch of a peaceful political process that leads to the establishment and recognition of an independent Palestinian state means we are all on the right path to lasting peace and stability. President Sisi also praised Camp David Accords in 1979 between Egypt and Israel, calling it the foundation of future peace deals in the region and saying it must be strengthened. He explained that peace imposed by force only generates strife, while peace built on justice is what produces true normalization. The head of the state added that the Egyptian army is committed to its mission to protect the country and preserve its borders and is not afraid of challenges.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi congratulated the Egyptian people and the armed forces on the occasion of the 6th of October war victory. In a post on his social media account, the President said that we conjure up the spirit of determination and unity that was behind the dignified victory and protected the nation. The President said that amid the current critical regional situation, Egypt asserted its constant position that sustained the security and stability which are feasible only through just and comprehensive peace that is based on international law and that safeguards the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people. President Sisi added that such peace will bring about the endless horizon for peaceful coexistence and cooperation among the different peoples in the entire region. He concluded by wishing Egypt and its great people many happy, secure and prosperous returns of the day. In her tweet marking the 52nd anniversary of the 6th of October war victory anniversary, First Lady Ms. Intisar al-Sisi said that we inspire from October victory the meanings of sacrifice and belonging for this homeland to be always fortification with the hands of its youth. She added that Egyptians recall the sacrifice of martyrs of armed forces for the sake of the homeland. On Sunday, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi chaired the meeting of the Supreme Council of the Armed Forces as part of celebrations marking the 52nd anniversary of October war victory. Presidential spokesman Mohamed said that President Sisi began the meeting by congratulating the Egyptian people and the army on the anniversary of the 6th of October war victory. President Sisi praised the army for its efforts to boost security and stability. The meeting reviewed a number of regional and international issues. The head of state paid tribute to the souls of Egyptian martyrs, affirming that the spirit of October victory shall remain deeply rooted in the conscience of Egyptians. President Sisi said that prosperity that Egypt witnessed would not have been possible without sacrifices of the heroes of October War. Earlier, the head of state laid a wreath at the unknown soldier memorial in Nasr City. The head of state then headed to the tomb of late President Anwar Sadat, where he laid another wreath. He also met with members of the Sadat family as well as commanders of the armed forces. The head of state later headed to the tomb of late President Gamal Abdel Nasser, where he was received by several members of the late president's family. To shed light on the issue and the celebrations marking the 52nd anniversary of October War victory, we are very much delighted to be joined over the phone by Dr. Mohamed Ezaby, our Professor of International Relations. Dr. Ezaby, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Sir, indeed, a very important day for Egypt, the 52nd anniversary of October War victory. How do you see this very important, and what message here did you read in the President's speech, President Abdel Fattah's speech, marking this very special occasion?
Well, the importance of this speech these days, it's the day that we make a great victory against the Israeli army, and it's the same day today is the beginning of negotiations between Israel and the Hamas in Egypt. So the day victory reflects that Egypt gave a great attempt to the Middle East problems and the Middle East struggle, and trying to prevent the massacres that happened by Israelis to Palestinian people, and try to cease fire in Gaza and stop the war there, and to send the humanitarian aid to the people in Gaza, especially that President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi is the first one in the world, the first president in the world, who said that we refuse any kind of immigration for Palestinian people from Gaza to any other country. We refuse to kill the Palestinian case, and we try to solve the struggle by negotiations and ceasefire. And always President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi say that the just peace will not be happened without settled the Palestinian country on the borders of 4th of July 1975, and the Palestinian capital is Jerusalem, and he gives a great attention to stop this struggle to make a just peace in the Middle East.
Indeed. Sir, during his speech on the occasion of the 52nd anniversary of October War victory, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi said, "The Great October Epic is a pool of lessons to be drawn by generations to come in cementing the internal front and keeping it united." How do you see this very important point which was tackled by the President during his speech on this very special occasion?
Well, we can say that the October War gave a great lessons for all the generation of Egypt, that how can they feel proud by Egyptian army. President Fattah al-Sisi always say the national army, and didn't say just an army. So victory is a hope granted but taken away through meticulous planning, dedicated and diligent work, coordination between the government and the national army lead to this victory. Yes. So the new generation must know that this national army is the army who can save borders, can face any threat from any enemy outside Egypt and inside Egypt. And we also that how come this national army faces terrorism in South Sinai after 13th of July. So the people and the new generation must know that to save this army, to give a great attention to this army, to be proud of this army, the army who saved the country from threats, the country who saved the country from terrorism. We must, the new generation must be honoring the spirit of October as a national event.
Of course.
So President Sisi opened by evoking the war legacy as a defining moment of Egyptian resilience and Arab unity, framing it not merely as a military triumph, but as more and spiritual victory. He described October 6th as the day of great victory, the day of the crossing, when the world stood in respect and reverence for the great will of the Egyptian and the unity of Arab decisions. This sets a reverent tune paying homage to fallen soldiers and wounded and leaders like Anwar Sadat, whom he called the hero of war and peace, the man of the man of bold decision and insightful vision, who led the nation with wisdom and courage towards victory and peace.
And, sir, the President also said that firm belief, delicate planning, diligent work and consistent coordination between all the state institutions are always keys for victory and success. To what extent we are here learning from the spirit of October War victory to build new Egypt, to build more successful nation, more united nation with solid and firm institutions and united people?
Well, as President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi said, that victory is not granted, but taken away through meticulous planning, dedicated and diligent work, coordination between state institutions, and concert internal front and belief in God victory. The war's principle, unity, faith, and determination must be revived today, aimed at successive crises our region in experiencing. So President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi uses this section to foster national cohesion, portraying the October spirit as an enduring effort that transcends time, by floating the armed forces as a national army, born from the heart of this great people, and reinforces the military's role as Egyptian guardians. We can say subtly justifying its performance in governance. This historical anchor serves that legitimize current policies, implying that Egypt's past glorious validate its patent assertiveness.
Yes, indeed. Sir, we have to mention here that this 52nd anniversary of October War victory is coming amid a very turbulent situation in the region, in which Egypt is playing a very important role here, as we are a mediator for the ceasefire agreement here, or the plan by the U.S. To end the war in the Gaza Strip. And Egypt is always playing a pivotal and very important role with our brother in Palestine, and especially in the Gaza Strip. To what extent here the message that Egypt is a very peaceful state, yet we are having a very strong army to protect our soil from any aggressor? How do you see here the situation at this very special moment as we are celebrating this very important celebration, while the region is actually witnessing these very alarming and this very turbulent situation.
Well, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, by mention our great army who can face in the streets, especially in this day, the day of victory, the anniversary, 52nd, and the day that starts the negotiations between Israel and Hamas, and until that this day is a very important moment for all the world, especially that Donald Trump wants to put end for the struggle in Gaza and ceasefire, and by saying that, or by mentioning our great army, he said that we have the power to save ourselves, we have the power to prevent immigration, but we are a country, we love peace, we want peace, and we want to make this situation to be ended, especially in Gaza. We wanted to rebuild Gaza after ceasefire. He said these words for all the world and Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu, that you must take the responsibility to ceasefire, to try to succeed this negotiation and ceasefire, and exchangeable the hostage between Hamas and prisoners, Palestinian prisoners in Israel, to stop the streets in the Middle East, especially the streets of Houthi and the Red Sea, because if we stop the war in Gaza, so the Houthi will stop send rockets to other countries, and we will make a peace in the Red Sea, and we can settle the peace for all the Middle East area, so that we need to put our attention to succeed these negotiations and face any difficulties that can face these negotiations. Donald Trump must make a pressure on Benjamin Netanyahu and Egypt and Qatar and other Arab countries try to make a pressure on Hamas to succeed these negotiations and stop the fire in Gaza and the West Bank, and make peace for all the area of the Middle East.
Indeed. Dr. Mohamed Ezaby, our Professor of International Relations, always a pleasure to listen to your precious input, sir. Thank you so much for being our guest. And President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi paid the tribute to late President Mohamed Anwar al-Sadat, the champion of both war and peace, and to all the armed forces commanders. And the President also laid the wreath on the tomb of the late President Mohamed Anwar al-Sadat. More about the late President Mohamed Anwar al-Sadat on this very special occasion in the following story.